Hi everyone, welcome to the stadium tour of St James's Park. This is a detailed video where we're going to be talking about the history of the ground. Let's get into it. So we're down at the St James's Metro, and the Metro was actually opened in 1982, and as you can tell, it's just literally filled with Newcastle United ex-players from history gone past. Now this is the top of St James's Metro. This is where you come out, and this is where you'll see the back end of the Gallagher stand. And this is, it's a nice day. Nice sunny day. It's a bit breezy, so I am going to apologise about the wind. There's not much I can do about that. And across the road here you can see that iconic Strawberry pub. Now the pub has actually been open since 1859, and around this site, this kind of area used to be a public execution area. In 1650, 22 people, and 15 of them were witches, were hanged in just a single day. Could you imagine that happening around this kind of area now? You just couldn't picture that. Now, as we'll look across here, we're going to be talking about the Jackie Milburn statue. Now, this is the third time that it's been moved. Originally, it was placed on Northumberland Street and sculpted by Susanna Robson. It was also funded by the fans, and it cost £35,000 to make. The statue has been moved from Northumberland Street to St James's Boulevard in '99, and also moved back to its proper home of St James's Park in 2012. Milburn's also got a statue of his own in his hometown of Ashton as well. Jackie Milburn died in 1988 after his battle with lung cancer. He was inducted to the English Hall of Fame in 2006. His funeral was actually held in Newcastle City Centre, and his ashes were also scattered across St James's Park. Milburn loved the club despite being a Sunderland fan as a boy. Milburn officially scored over 200 goals for Newcastle in 353 games. However, he did score more, but they weren't recognised because of the war era. They weren't classed as official games. Now, at the moment, we're just outside the club shop. The shop has all types of merchandise, from replica shirts I can see there, footballs, you might be able to see me in the background actually recording. You've got all sorts from football boots, you name it, what you would expect from a modern Premier League club. And St James's Park is actually named after nearby street, St James's Street as well. So, official store, sponsored by Puma, and the badge upon there as well, as someone's just starting to come out at the moment. Now we're going to be moving across just next of it. We're going to be coming to the box office in a moment, but the 9 Bar is now ahead of us right here. And the 9 Bar was opened in December 2004. Originally it was called Shearer's Bar after Alan Shearer, but there was a massive controversy when the club changed the name to 9 Bar to what they called dwindled under the previous name, and a rebrand and a refurbishment was needed. Many fans felt that this was a dig by Mike Ashley towards Alan Shearer changing the name of the bar. The bar serves its traditional food and beverages. The bar also hosts a talk-in show with current staff from like Rafa Benitez to ex-players once a month, which gives fans access to have a chat with their former stars and current stars of the club. Now, busy day. This is not a match day as we're recording. You'll see like when we go past the car park shortly that it's really, really busy. Next of it is the Terrace Bar. Now the Terrace Bar opened in April 2013. Again, similar to the 9 Bar, it serves the traditional food and beverages, but inside it's got a massive 84-inch TV screens. There's 2 of them, and has a 700 capacity, and as you can imagine, it's chock-a-block on a match day. Across the road, as you've just seen there, is the Sandman Hotel and a student accommodation. Now, St James's Park, the redevelopment was completed in 2000, and it holds over 52,300. It stands out in the skyline despite those new developments across the road of student flats around the ground as well. As you can see on this plaque here, we're in the Gallagher West corner, and that picture which you've seen, which is attached to the wall, was actually contributed by Wonga. And as we start to approach the back end, well, the entrance of the Terrace Bar, you could say, we're going to be approaching the Bobby Robson statue. Now, Sir Bobby Robson's statue was unveiled in May 2012, and this was sculptured by Tom Maley. The ceremony was attended by his widow, Lady Elsie, and their 3 sons. Sadly, we lost Bobby Robson to cancer in July 2009. Bobby managed Newcastle between 1999 and 2004, taking the club from the bottom of the league to the dizzy heights of the Champions League football. Fans of all clubs fell in love with Bobby's passion, his enthusiasm, his kindness, his resilience to battle back from cancer. Born in Langley Park, Durham, he managed England, he managed a massive Barcelona side and several European sides in Portugal and Holland. Now he also has a close connection with Ipswich, where he's actually won a European trophy there, and he's also got a statue at Ipswich Town as well. We're going to be going up through here, through the Milburn stand in a moment, but I just want to show you the back of Alan Shearer. We'll be showing you the front when we walk around shortly, but this is the very back of the Alan Shearer statue, and as you can see again, there's more student accommodations across the road as well. Now, a couple of these shops which aren't normally open, the We Are United shop, and to our left here you've got the Hut. To be honest, I don't really see them open much. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen them open in the last year or two. As we approach the box office, as you can imagine, you can buy your tickets from there, you can buy season tickets from there, you can buy them from other people, you can tell them where you want to sit, where you want to stand, cup games, league games, etc. And many years ago, the club allowed fans to display their personal message in at the floor, as you can see on the screen, and that was for a small fee. Fans have sent loved one messages, people who have passed away, their family members have put their messages on the ground, people have put how much they love the club, and even passed away people have never been forgotten, and it's what the club call a commemorative brick. Now, approaching is the players' entrance for the old Milburn stand. This is where the way bus pulls up now and drops players off and picks them back up. After a game, this area is always busy with fans, in particular the away ones, wanting autographs and photos of the heroes. Through those doors takes you to the dress rooms to the left, which is the home side, on the right is the away side, and through the pitch as well. I've played at St James's Park twice, and it's crazy the experience that you get. Opposite is the main reception. Floor 1 will take you to the bar, another bar where there's honours are shown. Further up are the boardrooms, boxes, and you can also make your way to the Milburn stand. Normally you would see formal people dressed in this area, and you do see it heaving on a match day. Now, this is where we do the fan cams, this is where we interview the fans, so if you are going to be coming to a game, come to this area and we'll have a chat for you about the game, and hopefully we've won. Now we're going to be coming out behind the Milburn. Now we're going to come up to where you'll see the production crew. So you've got like the likes of Sky and BT. This is where they park up. This is where they run the cables. And you've also got international broadcasters are also placed here as well. Now, behind the Milburn reception, this is where the Alden Sweeney Memorial Garden was opened in August 2014. You'll see in a moment when I switch round. And this is in honour of John Alder and Liam Sweeney, who tragically lost their lives travelling to New Zealand to watch Newcastle play in pre-season. It's also another place of comfort for people of loved ones who maybe have lost someone who's associated with Newcastle or loves the club. It just gives someone a bit of peace. Now this is the section where we come out, and on the Barrack Road area you can see the ground. It's really windy, so I apologise again, but this is beautiful, isn't it? It's handy that it's nice. It's summer. It looks like a summer's day, but it's actually freezing. It's only the beginning of February here, and this is the section now as we walk down. These are the old gates. These are the old gates which were returned in August 2013, which were held at Sir John Hall's home after the redevelopment of St James's Park in 1999. So Sir John Hall gave them back, and that's where they're located now, on the very behind. Now, as we're going to be walking down in just a moment, I was saying to you early on about Shearer, and this is held on the Barrack Road. Now we can see the Shearer statue. It was sculptured by Tom Maley yet again. Now the celebration has caused a lot of confusion amongst fans and the media by claiming it wasn't Shearer's usual high raising hand in the air. However, the celebration actually comes from Shearer's last goal for Newcastle, which was ironically against neighbours Sunderland, where he's pointing. It cost $250,000 to make, and it was paid by former chairman Freddie Shepherd, who is sadly no longer with us. At the unveiling of the statue, Kevin Keegan and Terry McDermott joined in the ceremony, as they were the ones who brought him back home. Shearer, a local lad from Gosforth, was bought for then a world record fee in 1996 and went on to score 206 goals for his beloved team and be an all-time top scorer, beating Jackie Milburn, who also has a statue around the corner. Now, we're back up towards the Leazes car park. You can park here for about 70 pence per hour. Sometimes it's more depending on how long you're going to be staying for. It's more secure here than it is up the road to Stanhope Street. We're going to be heading up to the car park above in just a moment. Now you can get to see the full impact and the beauty of when the Leazes meets the Milburn in a moment. So as we walk up, just watch this. I think it's the nicest part of the ground once we get up the top of here. It is just absolutely stunning. Have a look at this. I'm not even going to speak. I just want you just to take this in. Have a look at this. This is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. That was completed in 2000, and as you can see towards the right, it's you can see more student flats across as well. And looking further down, there's more car park. There's more car parks as well. So where we're going to be now is we're going to be heading towards the back of the Leazes Park, and this is access to the car park, which can take you upstairs and it spirals round. Could do for kind of could do for like a paint, couldn't it? Looks a bit dirty. Maybe we'll get onto that. Now, as we move forward, if you look closely, you can see in a moment how many levels the ground actually has. Now, the away fans are over here, right at the top, next to where all the kids sit. Now, the car park is busy, as you can see, but this is not even a match day. So you can imagine the away fans piling out of here on a match day. It's absolutely heaving. Now the left side of the Leazes end, as you can see, there's more spirals heading up. Now you can imagine again how hectic it gets here on a match day. And with it being in the city centre, it's an absolute nightmare to get out of Newcastle city centre if you're trying to get away. That's why you see a lot of fans leave about 5 minutes early to avoid the chaos. What we'll be doing in a moment is we're going back inside, because I want to show you the inner side walking around the ground as well. Now we're back inside, and we're at the bit where we're at the west corner of the Leazes end, and we're just going to have a look around, and we're going to be like walking you through this in a moment. But I just wanted to show you this area as well. Now this is where again you can see you are here, and you see the red dot at the top right, the Leazes west corner. This is the section where the Newcastle squad, so if you are coming and Rafa Benitez come out of. Now normally those gates are up, and you can actually see the pitch from this area as well. Now you normally see players come out. Some of them are already parked upstairs, so they drive through those gates and just drive off. But you also have other fans who stand around here waiting for their heroes to come out, and some of the players actually stop and sign for autographs and photos. Now let's get walking again. Let's get walking back towards the Leazes end again. Now you may have already noticed some turnstiles which are numbered on the right hand side. This makes it easier to find your way in if you're not familiar with the grounds. You can see 1920 there. Now, the sports bar, another bar inside Newcastle. This is, again, get your usual beverages through there. And we're now coming towards the away end. So we're now at the away end. This section is always heaving with away fans, 91, 92 and so on. And this is where you get checked. You know, you've got sniffer dogs in case there's any drugs. You know, you check in case you're not carrying any dangerous weapons like bottles or glass, you know. Okay, so we're back outside at the end, and we're at the beginning of the Leazes end, or the end, depending on where you're coming from. And as you can see, it's really, really high up, and away fans do complain, and we're, quote, up in the gods. It's absolutely huge, and they will be coming down to pitch side next season. Away fans they have to come down as a Premier League law coming in, which Newcastle have to relocate away fans. Okay, let's get out on Leazes Terrace. Now, I want you to look closely, and you can see this TV screen. Can you see it? This shows replays to fans in the Leazes and the Milburn stand. The day it went up on match day, they built it on a match day and put it up, and kick-off was actually delayed for an hour. Can you believe that? Only happened to the team, wouldn't it? Now also they may be considering putting another screen on the other end of the ground as well, because VAR is coming in, so there may be 2 screens going up in the game as well. Now we're on towards the east stand. Doesn't look as nice as the other 3 stands, does it? And this is the lowest in capacity if you just count the 4 main stands. Okay. Now this area, Newcastle can't build this higher because of the street behind it. They're listed buildings, so Newcastle aren't allowed to touch and redevelop this area at the moment. Now, nearby is the Royal Victoria Infirmary. You would have heard the ambulance there, hence why you can hear sirens. I generally believe that the east stand though has the best view in the stadium. It can get quite congested around here, as you can see. It's really tight roads. What we're going to do now is we're going to head towards back to Strawberry Place. A lot of people get this wrong because they think it's the Gallagher, and it's actually the next street on behind. Now you see the green glass building in the background? That's actually the Gallagher. This area is called the Strawberry Place on the main road. And again, you can imagine how tight this is and how busy this is. And these are the famous Gallagher steps. There, that's what I'm touching upon. That's the Gallagher over there. Now here are the options where when you arrive at the ground, you can go left, you can go right. And again, it's just telling fans and people that the turnstile numbers where they are. Now if you spin around, this is where we're actually above the Jackie Milburn statue. There we go. So we're now behind Jackie Milburn. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you the final area. And this is the upper Gallagher where you can go up. Let's head up. So we're up on there. Again, turnstile numbers guiding you where to go. You can pick up your prepaid ticket in this area even on the day of the match, rather than having it posted to you. Of course, season ticket holders have an electric card, but some people like to pick it up in person. Now if we look out on the street, you get some cracking views of the Sandman Hotel over there, and over to our left, that green building is called the Wellbar Central building. And again, on this floor, this area is ram-packed with fans. Cars can't move, and I don't see why you would drive through this route on a match day. It's crazy. And that's it. That has been your outdoor stadium tour of St James's Park. I'm sure you agree it's an absolutely beautiful stadium. And let's hope we can actually go and win something